This is some homemade crochet here, wonderful, beautiful, homemade. Today I'm with Chris. Chris is one of the finest men you will find here. Him and his wife own a small business and they make crochet. They go all over the Utah Valley to sell them. Chris, so how long you guys been doing this?
This is actually our first year that we've been doing the markets. We decided to start this out at the beginning of the summer, and we've been doing markets through the summer.
And what was the inspiration behind the market? I'm assuming this is not your full-time job, right?
Well, I'm retired on disability. I used to be a nurse, but I've got 9 bulging discs in my back, and I'm not able to work anymore. My mom taught me how to crochet when I was a kid, and when I had some surgery last year, a year and a half ago, my wife decided she was going to put me to work by making things for our grandkids for gifts. And so,
Chris, you don't look old enough to be a grandpa.
I have 9 grandkids.
How old are you? You look like 49.
I'm 56.
Wow, it's close. So that was the inspiration. You guys want to make some stuff for the grandkids. They look pretty, and then the wife was like, "Oh, maybe we should just go to the market." Is that how this come?
Basically, yeah. I started making a whole bunch of stuff, and we donated some of it to Primary Children's Hospital for the kids there for Christmas, and then we decided that we'd take some of our stuff here and see if we could make a go making a little extra money with it.
Fascinating, and they look pretty. This is a lot of stuff you have. You've been to a lot of market. Have you ever been to a market where someone buys something from you and for some reason they decide, I need to return this? What do they think? This is Amazon?
Well, there's been 2 times where I've had issues with a piece. One of them, I made a Snow White doll and her bow fell off. And the lady had come back by the next market and told us about it, and I told her to bring it over. I'd go ahead and replace the bow and make a new one for it. And she was happy with that. The other one, we had sold a little kid, what, was he about 2 or 3 years old? One of my swords that I make, and it has a wooden core. And he was bashing that on a few things. Before they even left the tent, he had broken it. And the parents were like, "That's okay, we bought it." And I said, no, and give it back to me. Take something else, because I'm not going to make you take a broken thing, So I just replaced it on it and took the thing home, took it apart, and rebuilt it.
That is very nice of you to do that. I think sometimes what I don't like when customers do is when they buy this stuff and for whatever reason they decide I don't want it anymore, and they expect you to just give them a refund.
Yeah, I've never had that happen.
Well,
never had to give a refund on anything.
That is good. I just don't think some customer realize the time people take to make this stuff.
Yeah.
And this is all homemade. This is not like you don't mass produce it,
Yes.
Each person, you touch them, you physically have touched them.
Yes.
And I don't think some customer understand that. And I think that is unfortunate. But regarding the product, how do you and your wife make them? Do you just make them, your wife help here and there? How does that go?
I make all of the dolls and all of the small intricate things because my wife says that it will drive her insane trying to do it. She likes to make more of the flat things, the things like our Christmas trees here, things that don't have a lot of intricate stuff on them.
Oh, okay, like it's simple to follow.
Right. Yeah.
Perfect. And you say you're retired now. I guess, how many market do you go in a regular season? Like
I say, this was our first year, but we did a market every other week throughout the entire summer. So what was it, 7 or 8 of them? Yeah, 7 or 8 of them. And then we've got this market. We've got one on November 29th. And then we've got another one on December 5th, 6th, and 7th.
So that keep you pretty busy. Man, this is a lot of stuff. And a lot of people, whenever they buy something now, they want to know where the supplies come from, the materials come from. And how do you get your supplies to make what you do?
I used to buy most of our yarn and stuff at Joanne Craft and Fabric, but they've gone out of business. So now I buy from Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and off of Amazon.
And whatever I guess wherever it is you can find the product in those between those store you go get them.
Yeah.
Can you walk me through the process on how you make an item? Can you grab an item and tell me how you the process? Good thing I have no idea what that is. How do you do this?
Okay, this is Elsa from the movie Frozen, the Disney movie. And so what I do is I make the doll's body first. I crochet it. I make the legs and the arms separately, and then I crochet that all together into one single body with the head attached to it and stuff all of that. After that, I make the dress, and then I make all the hair, and I sew all the hair on. And the face is embroidered on, and the eyes are put in when I'm stuffing it.
For something like this, how long does it usually cost? How long does it take?
This doll here took me about 10 to 12 hours to make.
Oh, that's quite a bit. Longer than I thought. That's quite a bit of time.
The let me grab these guys here. My Nutcracker gnomes. They take about 16 hours each to make. Each hair on its head is individually tied on.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And how much would you sell something like this for?
This guy here is $45.
Okay. How about the Elsa one?
Elsa is 35.
Okay, so about very close.
Yeah.
And do you feel like people appreciate that price, or do they just feel like, I can get it cheaper on Facebook?
It's a price that they'd be willing to pay. If I were to charge what it cost in time to make this thing would be worth about $200. But you can't do that. So I had to experiment and find a price that people are willing to pay that I'm willing to accept.
Fair enough. I feel like your business, the product look amazing, and people can see that you put the time and the effort into it. A lot of time I go to market, I see people, I feel like they just make some crappy thing and they just expect people to think they're the most beautiful thing. And you cannot criticize them. You have to act like their stuff is pretty.
Right.
But even though you're like, dude, you need to put some thought into those stuff. I feel like a lot of vendors don't do that at all. They just assume that everything they make is the most beautiful thing ever. Speaking regarding your product, what's the future for the business? Do you want to have a little shop one day? What is it?
We have an online presence as well at our website, papastoyshop.weebly.com. But honestly, it's just a little retirement gig for me, make a little extra money.
No crazy ambition, crazy goal?
No, not really.
Well, you heard the man. Papa Toy Shop Weebly.com. And you also have an Instagram too, right?
Yes, it's Papa's Toy Shop.
And do you ever think of maybe teaching classes for people?
I taught my daughter how to crochet, but I've never really thought about it much.
Yeah, I know some seamstress, or what is the opposite for man? Seamstress?
It's called a seamster.
Seamster. They hold weekly classes, whatever.
Oh, really?
To teach people. I don't know if you ever thought of doing that, but I guess that's not something you will venture into.
Probably not. It's like I say, it's more of just something to do with my hobby.
Fair enough. Well, Chris, thank you for chatting with me. Good luck this weekend, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Perfect.